Happy learning.
Hi, welcome to our Pharma Topics channel. Welcome to the 10th series of BPharm 5th semester exam preparation notes. It is related to Unit 3. Now we are going to see about autokines, particularly histamine and serotonin. So first is, what are autokines? So autokines are substances produced by neural or non-neural tissues throughout the body, and they have a local action. So otherwise they are also called local hormones. The local action, they modulate the activity of smooth muscles, nerves, glands, platelets, and other things. Physiological role, they regulate the gastrointestinal, uterine, and renal functions. Pathological role, they are involved in pain, fever, inflammation, allergic reactions, asthma, thromboembolic disorders, etc. Let us see the classification of autokines. They are amine autokines, histamine and 5-hydroxytryptamine. Both are amines. 5-hydroxytryptamine is otherwise called as serotonin. Lipid-derived autokines, they are eicosanoids. Eicosanoids are prostaglandins and leukotrienes, then platelet activating factor. Then peptide autokines, they are plasma kinins, bradykinin, kallidin, and angiotensin. The next question is, describe the biogenesis of histamine and explain its pharmacological actions. Let us see the tissues which produce histamine: skin, gastrointestinal tract, and respiratory tract. These tissues, they produce larger quantities of histamine. What are the cells which produce histamine? Are mast cells and basophils. Histidine on decarboxylation becomes histamine by means of the enzyme histidine decarboxylase. Histamine releases immunoglobulin E, which is due to allergic, that is during asthma. Drugs such as morphine, D-tuberculin, all are histamine releasers. Histamine action on the blood vessels, they are vasodilation and edema. Histamine action on the non-vascular smooth muscles, it is bronchoconstriction. Metabolism of histamine, methylation and oxidation, both are the metabolism of histamine. Then histamine receptors, they are H1 receptors which are involved in allergic reactions such as dermatitis, rhinitis, and conjunctivitis. And higher concentrations of histamine can cause anaphylactic shock. Intradermal injection of histamine produces triple response. It produces flush, flare, and wheal. Flush means red spot due to capillary dilation. Flare means arteries dilate, and wheal means exudation of fluid from the capillaries and venules. Then intravenous or intracutaneous injection of histamine stimulates the nerve endings and produces itching. H2 receptors, they increase the gastric acid secretion, and they are also involved in allergic reactions. H3 receptors, these are the receptors are presynaptic autoreceptors. Beta histine, it is a histamine analog used in treatment of severe vertigo called Meniere's disease. Let us see the antihistaminic drugs. First, we will classify the antihistaminic drugs. They are first generation antihistamines. They are subdivided into highly sedative antihistaminics such as diphenhydramine, dimenhydrinate, promethazine, and hydroxyzine. Moderately sedative antihistaminics, phenyramine, cyproheptadine, meclizine, and cinnarizine. Mild sedative antihistaminics, chlorpheniramine, tripolidine, and clemastine. Then second generation antihistaminics, cetirizine, levocetirizine, fexofenadine, loratadine, desloratadine. And intranasal antihistaminics, they are azilastine, misolastine. Ophthalmic antihistaminics are olapatadine, levocabastine, epinastine, and ketotifen. Let us, if the question is, write a brief note on first generation antihistaminic drugs. They are diphenhydramine, dimenhydrinate, promethazine, hydroxyzine, phenyramine, and cinnarizine. You can give subclassification also. Pharmacological actions. They are sedatives used as anticholinergic drugs, and they have antiemetic properties. Therapeutic uses. They are used as sedative antihistaminics, used to induce sleep or for preoperative sedation. Particularly diphenhydramine, hydroxyzine, and promethazine are used for this purpose. Anti-allergic antihistaminics, phenyramine, chlorpheniramine. Anti-emetic antihistaminics, meclizine, diphenhydramine, and hydroxyzine. Then meclizine is also used for treatment of motion sickness. Anti-Parkinson antihistamine, promethazine, actually it reduces tremor, rigidity, and salivary secretion is reduced by promethazine, so it is having anti-Parkinson effect also. Then vertigo treatment, cinnarizine is available. The adverse effects of first generation antihistaminic drugs are sedation, psychomotor impairment, anticholinergic effects, dry mouth, blurred vision, urinary retention, and constipation. Then let us see about second generation antihistaminics. They are cetirizine, levocetirizine, loratadine, desloratadine, azelastine, rupatadine, olapatadine. Pharmacological actions. The second generation antihistaminics, they lack the anti-emetic, anticholinergic, and sedative properties. The second generation antihistaminic drugs are mainly used as anti-allergics. All the second generation antihistaminics are metabolized to active products except cetirizine and mesolastine. Fexofenadine is the metabolite of terfenadine. It has a shorter half-life. Cetirizine is the metabolite of first generation antihistaminic hydroxyzine. It is the only drug in this category which possesses additional anti-allergic mechanisms. It may cause sedation in some susceptible individuals. Levocetirizine is isomer of cetirizine. It is more potent and less sedating than cetirizine. Desloratadine, it is the active metabolite of long-acting loratadine. Azelastine is used intranasally for the treatment of symptoms of allergic rhinitis. Mesolastine, Avastin, levocabastin are all available as eye drops for temporary relief and of signs and symptoms of allergic conjunctivitis. Alcaftadine is recently approved for the treatment of allergic conjunctivitis. Let us see about serotonin, its biogenesis and its pharmacological actions. Serotonin or 5-hydroxytryptamine is an autocoid and a neurotransmitter. The tissues which produce serotonin are huge in gastrointestinal tract. Cells producing serotonin are platelets, enterochromaffin cells, and neurons. Biogenesis, tryptophan is converted into 5-hydroxytryptamine by tryptophan hydroxylase. Metabolism, it is metabolized to 5-hydroxyindoleacetic acid by monoamine oxidase and aldehyde dehydrogenase. Pharmacological actions of serotonin are: in CNS, it regulates mood, appetite, emotional processing, and pain processing. In the peripheral tissues, it is essential for platelet aggregation and vasoconstriction. The receptors of 5-HT are 5-HT1, 5-HT2, 5-HT3, 5-HT4. All receptors are GPCR, G protein coupled receptors, except 5-HT3, which is ligand gated. Actually, 5, 6, 7 are also available, but they are in the research aspects. Pathological role of 5-HT, it is involved in anxiety, depression, migraine, carcinoid syndrome, nausea, and vomiting. Let us see a short note on serotonergic drugs. Buspirone is a 5-HT1A agonist. It is used in treatment of anxiety and depression. Triptans, that is sumatriptan, nortriptan, provatriptan, rizatriptan, are all 5-HT1B, 1D agonists, and they are the drug of choice for treatment of acute attacks of migraine. Ergot alkaloids, they are partial agonists of 5-HT1B, 1D used in treatment of acute attacks of migraine. Lorcaserin is a 5-HT2C agonist. It is approved for the treatment of obesity. Clozapine, it is a 5-HT2 antagonist which is used in treatment of schizophrenia. Cyproheptadine, it is a 5-H2 antagonist and it is having a dual action H1 antagonist also. It is used in treatment of allergic disorders and also in management of carcinoid syndrome. Flibanserin, it is a multifunctional serotonin agonist and antagonist, that is MSSA, potent agonist of 5-HT1A and moderate antagonist of 5-HT2A. It is approved for treatment of female sexual interest arousal disorder, that is FSIAD. Cetrans, ondansetron, palonosetron, granisetron, dolasetron are all 5-HT3 antagonists used in treatment of postoperative nausea and vomiting and cancer-induced nausea and vomiting. Then prides, cisapride, mosapride, rinzapride, tenzapride are all 5-HT4 agonists. They are approved for the treatment of gastroesophageal reflux disease and gastrointestinal hypomotility. Let us see about the drugs which are used for treatment of migraine. It is classified into drugs used in for treating the acute attacks of migraine. 5-HT1B, 1D agonists, triptans, sumatriptan, naratriptan, provatriptan, ergot alkaloids, ergotamine and dihydroergotamine. Drugs used in acute attack for patients with a history of coronary artery disease or hypertension. In such cases, the triptans and ergot alkaloids could not be given. Intranasal butorphanol, if it is not controlled, droperidol, and the last option is propofol. For migraine attacks that occur greater than 14 days a month, Ona-botulinum toxin A is approved for that purpose. Prophylaxis of migraine, beta blockers, propranolol, CGRP antagonists, erenumab, fremanumab, galcanezumab. These are all monoclonal antibodies which are recently approved for the treatment of, that is prevention of migraine. And calcium and sodium channel blockers, flunarizine could be used. Other drugs are clonidine, topiramate and candesartan can also be used as anti-migraine drugs. So it's a very short information of the autocoids, histamine and 5-hydroxytryptamine and the drugs related to it. The questions may be from these sections. Go through all the series. If you like this video, kindly press the like button. Thank you for listening. Happy learning. Kindly share this to more of your friends. Kindly subscribe to our Pharma Topics channel for further updates. Go through all the series and I will give that previous series links in the description box also. Thank you.